Welcome back to JJW Outdoors. Justin here. Today it's all about duct tape. I'm going to give you 5 ways to use duct tape in the field. So before we dive in, I want to talk about the 2 categories I'm going to be talking about. So using these 5 different ways, we're going to be talking about survival and first aid usage. So let's get started. So I can give you hundreds of ideas, ways to use duct tape and store and patch things. But I'm only going to be sharing you the top 5 that I would use in a survival situation and a first aid situation. Now these are things that I take in turn when I go hiking, when I go do bushcraft stuff, when I go on kayak. If I have to string a tent up and it's an old tent, how to patch it. Those are the types of things that I'm going to be sharing with you that I would use in a survival situation. Now if you would like me to do 10 tips about home usage or just tips and tricks on duct tape, what to use them on, please let me know in the future. So there are several types of duct tape as well. You have your 1-inch roll, you have your standard 2-inch rolls, and then you have your 3-inch roll. Now this one's going to be very special in a little bit. I'll show you in the video, but we're mainly going to be using just the cheap old duct tape and not the Gorilla duct tape. So depending on the situation, I might carry this 1-inch roll versus the 2-inch roll with me. Now when I go hiking, I would never carry this. I might roll up a little bit of it, but I would never carry this going hiking because it's just too heavy, it's too bulky, and you really don't use duct tape as often unless you plan for it. So I usually go with the 1-inch roll. Now if I go for a bushcraft camp and I know, hey, I'm going to rough terrain, I might bring the 2-inch roll because I can use a bigger patch for it. I can do more with this without using up all of my 1-inch roll duct tape. So the number 1 reason why I carry duct tape is because duct tape is very flammable. So all you're gonna need to do is tear off a good section of duct tape. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just tear it into strips, just like this. Doesn't have to be anything perfect. Just tear it right into strips like that. You're gonna crinkle it up just like this. You can either start this with a lighter, like that, or you can use flint if you rip it into smaller pieces. Number 2 is cordage. So all you're gonna do is rip off the length that you think you need, and you're gonna twirl your duct tape in a circle like so, and pull it tight as you're doing it. It's much easier to put it on your pants and kind of just move it like this. And once you have it somewhat like this, just flatten it, and there you go. Now you can make cordage out of this, and it's actually really strong cordage too. I mean, it's actually very, very strong cordage. There really is no breaking it. So to make string, what you want to do is I like to pinch it between my legs, and then you want to twist it so the sticky is on the inside, or best as you can. And the more you twist it, the tighter it will get. Just like that. Now you can see it's more of string, and just like that, very hard, very tight, and it will not break on you as easy. So now you can use this to either lash a tripod together or a way to tie the tarp to the ground. So the third thing you can do with duct tape in a survival situation is make yourself a bowl or something to gather water with. This is the easiest method that I have found to make a bowl in a survival situation when you have nothing else with you. Take your duct tape and you want to wrap around the log that you desire what size it is. I'm going to make myself a little cup. We're going to go like this, and you don't want to make it super tight because the tighter you make it, the harder it is to get off the log. And you're just going to circle it like this. Just like this. Now when you get to the end, rip it off, and you want to make it go Again, sticky side out this way like this. And you want to cover up the end. You just want to seal the end up so it's nice and tight. Just like that, so there's no gaps in it. And the reason why you're doing sticky out is so the sticky isn't inside your water. Like that. Now that's all covered up right there. So now we're gonna go the other way. Sticky down. Now using this method, you do have to use quite a bit of duct tape. So remember, if you go out in the woods, and if you're planning on not bringing much with you, bring duct tape with you because you can make all kinds of different things. I usually make an X just like that. That pretty much covers up the whole bottom. So now you want to go this way, all the way around it. And it's not going to be pretty because you're not going to get the duct tape nice and smooth, just like that. Once you're all done with that, you just twist it a little bit and it should just pop right off just like that. So then what you want to do is you have a little bit of sticky here, you just fold it down like this. And just like that, you have a drinking cup or bowl depending on what size log you use. So now that your cup or bowl is created, now this is a way that you could either store water or carry water with you if you do not have a container. So let's see if this is truly waterproof or not. So as you can see here, the only drips that I have coming out of here is from the actual cup itself. Now you can see in here it is very full. It's all the way up to the brim. It's perfect. So now you can either carry this to camp or you can boil your water and dump your hotter water in here and then use your other cup to boil some more water, and you can store this water in this cup. The fourth reason why I carry duct tape with me is to patch up the holes in your tarp. You put one on one side, one on the other side, just like that. You just patched up your hole, makes it waterproof again, until you get home to really patch it up. This is a short-term, not a long-term fix. So there are 4 ways in a survival situation how to use duct tape. I hope you enjoyed that. Now I'm going to talk about the 5th way, which is going to be towards your first aid. Now, as most of you know, I carry a first aid kit with me, but that also is my toiletries. So I have toilet paper with me, I have my hand sanitizer, I have wipies, all of that stuff. But I want to talk about the first aid right now. So in my first aid kit, I do carry duct tape. I carry a 2-inch roll of duct tape, as you see here, and I just wound up on an old cereal box cardboard that I cut, and I just wound around it. Now this I know is 2 arms lengths, so I could make a bowl with it and I could patch something up with it. Now it's not enough to do all of these survival tips and tricks all at once, so keep that in mind. So that is why I carry duct tape. Now I'm going to show you really quick. If you get a cut on your arm, there's 2 ways that you can patch it up. Now as I mentioned earlier, I carry toiletry stuff with me, so I have toilet paper with me all the time. Now if I don't have a bandage with me and I just have these 2 items, I can take a ball of toilet paper, put it on whatever cut or scratch I have, whatever it is if it's bleeding, to stop the bleeding, and then use the duct tape to wrap around my arm, around your leg, around the body part that you hurt. So all you do is you take whatever, you can either use cloth, I would even use a ripped piece of shirt or a bandana. Usually I carry a bandana with me as well, so keep that in mind. But right now I have my toilet paper, I have my duct tape. I'm going to put my toilet paper on the duct tape like this. I'm going to put it on whatever part that I cut, and I'm going to wrap it around just like that, so now you can see it's there. Now keep in mind, if you wrap duct tape too tight, it could cut the circulation off, and it's not as easy to get undone as if your belt or something like that, or a tourniquet. which that gets me to the number 2 for first aid, which will be you can make a tourniquet. So that rope string I showed you earlier, you can do that. I recommend to wrap it around your arm or whatever you hurt, and then take a stick and wrap it around, and then take another piece of duct tape over top of that stick to hold it in place. But also keep in mind, I have hairy arms. It's gonna hurt if you wrap duct tape around it just like this. Just to go fast, hard, easy, and ouch. And just like that, all your hair comes off with it. So there you have it. There are 5 ways to use duct tape in an emergency and in a survival situation. I hope you enjoy it. Now, if you like seeing this duct tape video, I have plenty more ideas for life in general, skills that you should know, and that you can master. So thank you so much for clicking on this video, watching all the way through. Now, since those people who have stuck with me and have been watching this video, I have a bonus one, a 6th item that I want to share with you that I use when I'm out in the woods or on a hike, depending on how tall or short the grass is. So if you want to see that 6th item, stay to the end of the video. But first, go hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because you're gonna like my upcoming videos. So for you guys out there who have bulky pants like this that can't button up, here's a good hack that you can use with duct tape. So what you want to do is you want to kind of wrap your pants up like this, or wrap them around your shoe, depending on how you want to do this. Then what you do is you take the duct tape and you wrap around your leg, just like this. Now what that's going to do is it's going to keep the bugs from crawling up under your pant legs, like ticks or those mosquitoes or anything else that can get up your pant legs and get you. So I know it's not the most stylish, but it will keep the bugs from crawling onto your skin. So keep that in mind when you have to walk through tall grass. Now thank you so much for clicking on this video, watching it. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next one.